few weeks, and I just thought what better time to have a chat about focusing on what goals we want to set for ourselves in this upcoming year. Technically, January 1st is just another day, but there's something fresh and exciting about a new calendar year, and it just seems like a new chapter in our lives. So I want to share with you the one sentence that I use to constantly refocus myself throughout the year, and this really helps me to stay motivated. Sometimes it's a little uncomfortable to ask this to yourself, and it can seem like it's a little too brutally honest, but I find that it is really helpful. Before I tell you what it is, I just want to say that this is not about criticism, and it's not about condemning yourself for the mistakes that you've made or for the challenges that you're going through. It's just about focusing on where you're at and where you want to go. Okay, so basically what I do is I take any aspect of my life. So say it's my office or my wardrobe or my health, my diet, what I'm eating, my workout routine. And it can also be applied to relationships or to, your own inner thoughts. And I'll use the example of a desk. I ask myself, what kind of a person has this desk? And it's just a way to snap yourself back into reality of what you're really doing. And maybe if you've created a routine of being messy and having stuff all over the place, and you've kind of told yourself, so what, I'll clean it up later, who cares? Something about asking yourself, what kind of a person works at a desk like this? It makes you, for me at least, it makes me right away want to reassess what I'm doing, how I'm working, and kind of correct myself as I go along. The reason that I find asking that question so powerful is because it's so easy to get into routines and to kind of pacify yourself when you've kind of slacked on something that really is important to you and really is, part of your core value system of the type of person that you want to be. And so maybe the part of the ideal person that you want to be is to be organized and to have a clear mind and to be focused. Ask yourself to be unbiased and to pretend that you didn't know it was your desk. If you were to just walk into a room and you were asked to describe the person that this desk belongs to, what would you say? Would you say, this desk looks super organized, I think this person is probably very focused, this person takes pride in taking care of the things that they have? Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you'd think this person's really sloppy and this person has stuff all over the place. This person has a cluttered desk, so they probably have a cluttered mind. Maybe this person's always rushing through things, and that's why there's things that are half started, put all over the place, piled up. And saying this can also really help with procrastination. So if there's part of your life that you've kind of been pushing aside and saying, yeah, I'll deal with it later, I'll focus on it another time, it's not that important. When you ask yourself that question, it's kind of like putting a mirror up to what you're doing and making you kind of own up to your actions and your behaviors, and I find that it really helps to keep me accountable. Excuse the road noise in the back. There's some trucks going by and I know it might be a little noisy, but I really wanted to get this message out to you guys today, so I'm going to film anyways. So yeah, this really helps with accountability, and it can be used to anything. So maybe you've told yourself, like, this year I'm going to be really, really healthy and I want to become the healthiest, happiest, most balanced version of myself that I can become, and you're super motivated and determined to do that. And in order for you to be that person, there's certain things that you want to do and certain things that maybe you need to cut out of your life that you were doing before. And so maybe, a few weeks into January, you start slipping back into eating junk food and eating packaged food. Or maybe you're choosing to watch a lot of TV and sit down instead of being active like you really wanted to be. Ask yourself, what type of person has these habits? What type of person has this routine? What type of person eats this way? And ask yourself, is that the person that I really want to be? Is that my goal? Is that my ideal self? It's not about comparing yourself and saying, this person does that, they're better than I am, or I do this and they don't, so I'm better than them. It's just about you and your relationship with yourself. You know deep down what it means when you're at your best, when you are focused on something, when you're working consistently towards something. That feels good. And so I really urge you today to ask that question about something. And sometimes it is uncomfortable. Maybe it's about a relationship and says, what type of a person has this relationship? What type of a person speaks to their loved one that way? I do this with myself all the time. Sometimes I'll catch myself in a conversation and I'll think, what type of a person speaks that way? And I'll say, maybe I should have used these words. Maybe I should be a little bit kinder because that's my value. That's something that I want to, that's an ideal that I have for myself, to speak to people with a certain level of respect, or maybe to be a better listener. What type of a person has this conversation? And this one question can really help you elevate and raise yourself up to new standards that you can set for yourself. And it can be really motivating. I know that's one of the challenges that so many people have, is that they set goals in the new year and then they find that it kind of tapers off and their progress slows down, and maybe they forget about the goals altogether until the next new year. And so by asking yourself this question, maybe write it on a little post-it note, or maybe write it on your phone and look at it every once in a while. I suggest starting with one aspect of your life, something simple. Maybe your handbag. Maybe your purse is always filled with old receipts and you forget to throw them out, and it's cluttered and messy, and it doesn't make you feel good because it makes you feel frantic when you're looking for your things, and you keep thinking, how nice would it be to have everything just where it should be, or everything how I want it to be and organized, and it would make my life a lot easier even just in that small way. And so maybe just ask yourself daily, what kind of a person keeps their bag like this? And when your answer is something that makes you happy, then you'll know that you've made a huge improvement. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tip. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like these little motivating, goal-related videos, and I definitely will keep them coming because I just feel like it's such an important part of happiness. I'll see you in my next video, and until then, have a great day. Bye.